Hey, what up, laulaus? It's your boy Jamesy back with another video. Now today's video is going to be a little bit different. Today I will be sharing with you something that's quite personal to me and something that used to be one of my biggest insecurities growing up. Today I will be sharing with you my personal journey with acne. Now, I'm no dermatologist and I am by no means a skin expert, and I do not have the best skin at this point. However, I thought that maybe sharing with you my journey and the steps that I took to get from where I was to where I am now might help some of you with your own journey with acne. The first time that I ever got acne was when I was 13. Before that, growing up, I used to have the best skin. It was soft, it was supple like a baby's bottom. It was just so soft, like my skin was actually flawless. But when I was 13, I remember my mom came home one day and she's like, "Hey James, this is a facial wash, right? You're a teenager now, it is time to start washing your face." And I started washing my face, and that was when acne started for me. I remember I broke out for the first time. It wasn't too bad, just a few here and there. So this is the first sort of tip or advice that I could give you. And from what I've seen, I have some friends who've experienced the same things, who used to have the best skin. And this is someone he was 19, I think, at the time, and he started washing his face, and that was when he started to break out. So I'm not sure if it's a myth, but just from what I've seen, if you've never touched facial wash in your life, if you've just been washing your face with water or soap or whatever, stick to that, right? I think a lot of times these different facial wash out there, can be very strong and can affect your skin. I have a friend who never used facial wash in his life, never used a single facial product, and he has the best skin among our friend group. So that might be the first myth, but just something that I've noticed. So anyway, when I was 13, I started washing my face, and that was when I started to break out. And it was pretty consistent. It was never too bad, right? I used to have it a lot on my forehead area, but never on the cheeks or anywhere else. It was just a little bit on the forehead up till I was 17, 18. It was moderate. Like it wasn't too bad, right? My acne wasn't too bad. But when it really got bad was when I was 19, and when I flew from Malaysia, where I was from, to Canada, and that was when all hell broke loose, man. I think it was because of the weather change. Like in Malaysia growing up, the weather is very humid, but here in Vancouver, the weather is very dry. Like the air is dry, and obviously there's winter here and things like that when your skin gets really dry. And in my first year of university, that was when my face got destroyed by acne. I'll throw up some photos here as well for you to see, but it got so bad. Now again, as I mentioned, when I was growing up, it was just around my forehead area, but when I got to Vancouver, it was everywhere. It literally was up to my neck and my chest and my back. It was just really, really severe, and it got really, really bad. And I think what made it worse as well is during that time I was very into bodybuilding and fitness, so I would drink a lot of like protein shake and those kind of stuff, and I think that contributed a lot to it as well. I remember when I stopped that completely, it got better. I stopped having like acne on my body, but obviously the face was still kind of messed up, so but that definitely played a big part in the whole acne severity of it, right? The cutting out the protein shake and all that stuff really helped. But I think what really messed up my face even more was because again, like, you gotta understand, when you're like 18, 19 and your face is starting to get like messed up, you're always trying to find like, oh, what's the next product I should use? What's the next thing I should put on my face to fix it? I remember I was changing products every other week. I would go online and watch other videos, and whatever this YouTuber says, I'll buy. I remember just buying a whole ton of different products and putting a whole bunch of stuff on my face, and it just got progressively worse. And I remember the saddest part was this is kind of sad now. I love my parents and my family to bits, but I remember when my mom and my sister came to visit me in Canada in the winter. Now growing up, like my family growing up, we always like kiss each other on the cheek. Like my family is like very loving, and we're always very we're like kissy. Like kisses are very normal in my family. But I remember when they came to visit, and they saw how bad my face was. I remember it came in I went to their hotel where they were staying, and I opened the door and I was like, oh hi mom, hi sis, and then I went for a hug, and then and like they haven't seen my face for I think about 4 months at a time, and that was when it got really bad, right? So I remember I went for a hug, and I remember my mom was about to kiss my cheek, right, my sister as well, like out of habit, and I remember they stopped. And they were like, oh, and they went back for another hug. So now that experience didn't scar me or anything, and we laughed about it, because I knew that my face was so messed up. There wasn't an inch of space to kiss that wasn't like infested with acne. So I totally understand where they're coming from. But yeah, so that was when it was really bad, and however, my confidence wasn't too affected at the time, which is surprising. I realized that I don't know, I have no idea why, like, but confidence, in my opinion, at the time it really came from within. But I remember it slowly got to me. Now again, during that time in December when my mom and my sister visited, even when they didn't kiss me, I was still alright, right? But it wasn't getting better, and it just got worse. And around that time too, I had a different group of friends, and they would make fun of me and make fun of my face and stuff, and I think eventually it got to me. And me growing up, I've always been like a pretty confident guy, but even being someone that confident, it took a toll after a while. So I remember it got pretty bad at one point where every time I go to the washroom, and I after I did my thing, and when I would go to wash my hands, I would never look up in the mirror. It was just pretty sad. Like I remember I also stopped trying in terms of like getting nice haircuts or waxing my hair, because in my head I'm like, okay, if my face is so messed up, what's the point of dressing well? What's the point of having nice hair? You know what I mean? So it got really bad at the time. Yeah, I just wouldn't look at myself in the mirror. I would avoid looking at myself in the mirror. So it was pretty bad. And I think when it started to get better, like at least the first time it got a little bit better was when I went to a dermatologist, and he prescribed me some form of antibiotic. It wasn't Accutane, it was some form of antibiotic, and I don't remember what it was, and it made it a little bit better. I think it was a 2-month course or something. I took it, and then it got a little bit better, and then once I was off it went to shit again. And it wasn't until I went back to Malaysia and I visited another dermatologist when I was prescribed Accutane. Now I'm sure for those of you who are struggling with acne right now, if you're doing any form of research, Accutane is like that go-to pill, or that go-to meds for bad skin. So I took that, and then my skin was hella dry for a while, but eventually it got a little bit better. But I also realized that after taking Accutane, like when you're on Accutane, like let me tell you this, you are indestructible, man. You can, like I'm sure you hear a lot of things out there where, oh, you should avoid fried foods, you should avoid dairy, all that stuff to have good skin. When you're on Accutane, man, you can eat anything you want, you can sleep as late as you want, your skin will be fine. Like you're literally unstoppable. Now, again, I knew that Accutane wasn't something that I wanted to be on for a long time, because yeah, it just wasn't, I know it's not good for you, just like any form of pill or meds, it's not good for you. So I remember, I think I was on it for about 6 months, and then when my skin got better, I stopped. And then during the time when I was on Accutane, I remember the dermatologist told me to sort of switch to something more gentle for my face wash. So I started using Cetaphil, which is like a really gentle face wash, and I just use one type of lotion, and that's it. And eventually over time it got better and better, and eventually my face kind of cleared, but I still had a lot of like scars. And then I was off Accutane. Now, when I was off Accutane, again, as I mentioned, when you're on Accutane, you are indestructible, right? Your face will, like, you will rarely break out. Like, you will be indestructible. But as soon as you stop, you're gonna obviously get the occasional breakouts here and there. And that for you, those of you who are on Accutane right now, or who are planning to go on it, and you'll eventually get off, you need to understand that your face you will get those occasional breakouts. That is for a fact, right? And I realized what helped me to maintain my face after Accutane is two things. Number one is to keep that facial routine that you have during Accutane. That is number one, because I remember the first time I was on Accutane and I stopped, and then when I started to break out again, I remember I panicked a little bit, right? Because in my head I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna go as bad as, you know, what it was back a year ago. So I remember I was, oh man, maybe Cetaphil was too weak, I need something stronger. So I changed my cream, I changed my face wash, and that is when your face will get messed up again. At least from what, you know, I've experienced and my personal experience. So that happened once. So I was on Accutane 6 months, and then I stopped, and then my face was really good, and then I started to break out again, and I panicked, and then I changed all my product, and then it got really bad again. Then I remember I had to go on Accutane one more time, but this time for just 3 months. And I remember I told myself to just stick to the plan, right? And that's been helpful ever since. So I haven't touched Accutane ever since, you know, after that 3-month period. And right now I just do like my own little facial routine, which I'm going to share with you. I know this is a very long-winded journey, but yes. So right now I just have a facial routine that I do as a form of maintenance, but generally the main thing, which is your face wash and your cream / lotion, you have to keep it the same and not switch it out for anything, especially when you're off Accutane, especially when you're not, you know, indestructible anymore, right? So I'm going to share with you my facial routine right now on how I manage my skin right now, years and years off Accutane. So hopefully it will help you. Yes, but again, I will tell you again that number one, if your skin is really bad, go to a dermatologist, and I think being on Accutane will really help you, at least to start. But then once you find that facial routine that works for you, stick to it, right? Don't change it up all the time, and that is what is going to keep your skin looking fresh and looking good. So let me take you to my daily facial routine right now, and hopefully it will help you. Alright, so this is my sort of day in the life for, you know, taking care of my face as a 25-year-old man. Alright, so the face wash that I use, as I mentioned, is Cetaphil. So you can see here. Alright, so this is like there are two versions. There is the oily skin version and there's a gentle version. So this is the one that I use, which is gentle. So I realized, at least for me, these ones work better because I wash my face like twice a day, and this one doesn't like dry out my face. I remember I used to be on some facial wash that would dry the hell out of my face. Like I can't even like open my mouth, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I can't open my mouth after washing my face. But this one tends to be really gentle for me personally, and this is what I use. So in the morning when I wake up, I will literally, first thing I do, brush my teeth, I'll wash my hands with soap. I would pump maybe like this much, take this much, and this is how I like to wash my face. Honestly, to be honest, there's no routine. I think you just don't overthink it, right? So I just wash my face like this. Oh, on dry skin, so I don't wet my skin first. I wash my face like this. Okay, put my nose, right? Like this. My forehead. Just be gentle, you know, you don't want to go crazy. Be gentle with your skin, right? Just like so. So this is in the morning, right? When I wake up. Wash my face. like that. Super simple, no big deal, alright? I'm gonna rinse it off, 1 sec. Alright, so this is the morning routine, right? Once I wash my face, one tip here is to, when you wipe your face with your towel, this is what I heard from dermatologists and what I do personally, don't rub your face like this, like don't rub it, just dab it, like, you know, pat it dry. That's what I do. And in the mornings, right after I wash my face, it's just Cetaphil, wash my face, and I use really cold water. That's a personal preference. It just helps to keep my face tight, I guess. I don't like to, yeah, I just use cold water in the morning, like ice cold, and I wake myself up that way too. And then pat my face dry, and in the mornings, I use this thing. So this is the Aveeno Daily Moisturizer. And that's it. I put that on, and that's my morning done. Sometimes though, if I know I'm going out, and if I know it's a sunny day, I put this, which is this one. So this is the Unseen Sunscreen Super Goop. Now I heard about this from my girlfriend. I used to use her stuff all the time, and this works for me as a sunscreen because it's very matte, and I like that. I don't like my face looking all shiny when I go out and about. But to be honest though, because you know obviously it's COVID and everyone's home all the time, I don't really use this anymore. And the daily moisturizer that I shared with you already has the SPF score factor in it, so it does protect you from the sun too. So that's what I do in the morning as my morning routine. Now what I do next in the evening, you know, at night, when I'm done with work, when I'm done working out and all of that, when I'm in the shower, when I'm washing my face, I do the same thing. So what I'll do, I'll use the Cetaphil again to wash my face, but every other day or every 2 days, depending on, you know, how I feel and if I remember, I like to do a scrub. So this is what I use. You can see. So this is the Aveeno Skin Brightening Daily Scrub. So I use that, scrub my face every other day or so, especially after a workout, right? Just in my head, I feel like my face is super dirty and stuff, and I need to scrub it away. So that's what I use in the evenings. Now after that, for the evenings, once I've scrubbed my face, what I like to do, and this is something that I really highly recommend that you get from your dermatologist, or try to get a prescription for it, or if you can find it over the counter, get this thing. This is by far, in my opinion, the #1 thing that's been helping me to maintain my skin and maintain my face at this point. So it's this. So obviously it's gonna look different to you, and there's no point showing you this thing, but in terms of ingredients for this is benzoyl peroxide, 5% mixed with 1% of, I don't know how to say this, man, but can you read it? Yeah, 5% benzoyl peroxide and 1% of clindamycin or something. It's basically called a benzoyl gel, and this is something that was prescribed by my dermatologist here. You can see. Now this is what it's called. Now it's gonna look a bit different based on where you live, but this is what I put at night, right before I sleep, almost every night or every other night. Now, mind you, this thing dries the hell out of your skin, so I don't actually use it every day. I feel like I've gone to a point in my life where I'm starting to listen to my skin and just listen to my skin. Like, I think you'll get to a point where if you feel like, okay, my skin is a little dry today, then I avoid it. If it's not super dry, and I feel like I'm breaking out, then I use this. So it's literally pump it, and I put a thin layer all around. I let it dry, and when it's dry, it's like your face, you can't even move it. And then that's what I use at night. But once that's dried, I will top it up with this. This is the Aveeno Intensive Night Cream. So especially in the winter, and especially here in Vancouver, my skin gets really dry. So I use this at night, put it all over my face, and I go to sleep. So that is like a general day in the life. But once in a while at night, again, you'll get to a point where you don't need to follow a specific routine. For me right now, I feel like I've gotten so good at understanding my skin, or really just you know, having that feel for it, like, okay, I feel like my skin is hella dry. So if it feels super dry, I wouldn't touch the benzoyl cream at night, but instead I would put this thing. So this is another Aveeno, you can see here. Yeah, this is called the Aveeno Overnight Hydrating Facial, and this is just super moisturizing. I'll just put some now because I wash my face twice. So what I do is put it on. Man, I feel like a beauty guru right now, man. Alright, just like this. Put some on your neck too. So again, I only do this if, now again, when you put your cream, you know, you want to be gentle. I only use my 2 middle fingers because I don't use my middle fingers anywhere else. So I use my 2 middle fingers and I rub it in, or I rub it in. Now this, again, I don't do this every night too. I just do it on those days, on those nights when I feel like my skin is really, really dry. So put it here, put it here. So again, like if you've been following so far, there are just a few key things. The main thing is just really to listen to your skin and to feel if it's too dry, put something more moisturizing. If it's not, if you feel like you're breaking out, put some form of maintenance gel or some form of gel to prevent breakouts and stuff. If you feel like your skin is really dirty after a workout or after going for basketball and stuff, then do a scrub. If you don't, then just use something pure like Cetaphil and just wash your face. The only thing is I always wash my face twice, never more, never less. And I always make sure that my face is never too dry and never too like moisturized. Now one last thing that I do, and this is something that I do probably once a week or twice a week if I remember or if I have the time, is I do a sheet mask. So let me bring it, one sec. Alright, so again, once a week or twice a week if I remember, I try to do a sheet mask. Now this is the one that is the only one I use. You can see here, it's called My Beauty Diary Black Pearl Mask. Black Pearl Mask. This is the one that works for me. It doesn't break me out and it makes your face look brighter. So this one, once a week, I usually do it on a Sunday, on a weekend, just, you know, to relax. What I do, same thing, I will wash my face with Cetaphil. I'll do a scrub if I need to, and then before anything I will put this on 15, 20, sometimes even 30 minutes. Now the secret to this is you don't want to put it on until it dries up, because apparently they will make your skin drier than it really should be. So I put it on 15-20 minutes, take it off, you know, dab it in, pat it in, really pat it in, and then I would finish it off. Now again, right, you don't want your skin to be too dry and you don't want your skin to be too moisturized, because that is how you're gonna break out. So usually after I do this, your skin is gonna be super hydrated. So right after this, I will just pat my skin in, you know, let it dry, let it absorb all the collagen or whatever that's in here, and I will just use the night cream that I shared with you. You can put it up here if you forgot. And that's it. But again, so after I use this, I always just finish it off with this one, the intensive night cream. So I never put the gel thing, or I never put the hydrating night facial on top of this. So it's all about balance, all about understanding your skin. And this is how I've been able to maintain my skin at this point in my life. It's been working out for me so far. I haven't had to go back to Accutane or anything. Now obviously I still break out, right? As you can see, I think I have one here. I still break out, but it's just about trusting the process. It's about not stressing too much, not overthinking it, sticking to one routine that works for you and just going with it. Understanding your skin, and yeah, so again, my facial routine, it isn't the most complex, and I don't use the most expensive ingredients. I think Aveeno is like one of the cheapest over-the-counter brands you can find in your drugstore. So I think this routine is very affordable. Now again, I am not a dermatologist and I am not a skin expert, and by no means do I have the best skin out there, but just considering where I've been, you know, in my journey with acne and to where I am now, I'm happy. I'm happy with my skin right now, and I am back to looking at myself in the mirror. I'm back to being me. And again, for those of you who are struggling with acne at this point in your life, I just want to say you can get over it. If I can, you can too. Just be patient and remember to find good friends, people who would love you and be with you no matter what you look like. Find good friends. Remember that confidence comes from within, and remember to really take care of yourself. You know, your face is important. Remember that you should always, you know, be happy no matter what you look like. I know it's easy to say, but I've been there. I've been there when I was the most insecure, when I was the least confident. But if I can get out of that, you can too. Now again, I'm no skin expert. Hopefully this routine, or just listening to my journey of how I overcame acne and what I'm doing right now to maintain it without the need of Accutane or any other drugs, hopefully would inspire you a little bit and yeah, help in some way. But again, if there's any questions, specifics, drop it in the comments below. Happy to help you. I know it's not a fun time to have acne, but you'll get over it, man. You'll get over it. Don't worry about it. I got you, okay? So if you enjoyed this video, I know it's a little bit different, make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe, become a laulau today, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.